Officials are now taking the lead in the destructive wildfires burning hundreds of thousands of acres across Washington state. Plus, Stephanie.
Hot temperatures continuing as we start up the new work week. We do have heat alerts that have been extended for some areas. For forecast.
Happened.
Signs of a brand new day at the box office. It has been a record-breaking weekend in sales. What the Spider-Man Odyssey duo means for the state of movie theaters and the industry.
NBC4 News starts with breaking news.
We begin with the heat wave stretching into another week. We want to thank you for joining us for this special edition of the NBC4 News. I'm Kathy Vara.
I'm Jonathan Gonzalez. Multiple advisories are still in place right now with concerns about air quality and the temperatures. Today's hot and dry conditions also keeping the fire risk high. Firefighters quickly stopped a brush fire that was burning right near some homes in Thousand Oaks. The cabin fire, as it was called, started around 2:15 this afternoon in the foothills right near the North Ranch open space. It briefly triggered some evacuation warnings. No word yet still on a cause.
Let's take a look outside. This is a view across Southern California tonight. Although things are cooling down, the heat will persist into the work week.
Meteorologist Stephanie Omo tracking the latest in her forecast. Stephanie.
Yeah, temperatures earlier this afternoon quite similar to what we had here yesterday. Temperatures soared back into the triple digits, especially around the deserts, around the Inland Empire and Victorville. You made it very close to 110 degrees. It climbed to 106 in Hemet, Van Nuys, very close to 100 degrees. 99 was the afternoon high temperature. Fullerton 92 and 91 in downtown LA. So temperatures today just about 2 degrees cooler compared to yesterday afternoon for downtown Los Angeles. And right now we're checking out this view where, again, it was earlier this afternoon. We had plenty of sun yet again. The sun is setting temperatures at 75 degrees as we speak. Temperatures currently in some other areas. It is past 8 and temperatures are currently in the 80s. 85 in Ontario, 84 in Riverside, 82 and 88 in Santa Clarita at the moment. Temperatures in the upper 80s to low 90s right now in the Antelope Valley. So something that's been actually been updated is the heat alerts around the basin. That's been lifted at 8 o'clock. So now has been extended for some areas, as you see around the Inland Empire, until tomorrow night. And also not just Southern California dealing with the heat, but other parts of the country, too. This is including parts of the Pacific Northwest that has contributed to some fire conditions out there. So we'll have more on this coming up in just a bit. For now, back to you guys.
Stephanie, thank you. We're going to turn now to the historic wildfires just north of us in Washington state. Right now, tens of thousands of people are under evacuation orders. Hundreds of homes have burned, and the governor is begging for help.
And a lot of that help is now coming from Southern California, where firefighters here who have handled so many catastrophic wildfires have been sent to Washington. NBC4's Camilla Rambaldi joining us live now from Santa Monica with more on the local response. Camilla.
Yeah, hi, Jonathan and Kathy. We have learned California Team 7 has been sent to the area. It's made up of local, state, and federal personnel. Deputy Chief Tom Clemmo here with the Santa Monica Fire Department is one of the incident commanders on the team. I actually spoke with him over the phone earlier this evening. He is in Washington state right now. But first, let's go ahead and get you to some video of the fires. Officials say at least 600 buildings have been destroyed already. Spokane's mayor says the wind could make it more difficult for firefighters to get a handle on these fires. The Spokane area fires have burned more than 5,000 acres with 0% containment, according to a federal management team. Homes have been reduced to ash. And there are more than a dozen major fires burning across the state that have scorched more than 250,000 acres. Here's more from a woman talking about what it has been like for her family trying to escape.
People are absolutely worried sick. They're panicked and they're heartbroken. You're seeing it everywhere.
Yeah, yesterday my brother and sister-in-law, because of the gridlock, they had to escape by foot. And it was getting that text and knowing how backed up everything was and knowing how close that fire was to all of it. It was one of the worst moments of all of our lives.
As I mentioned earlier, federal interagency incident management teams are helping with the firefighting efforts of the Spokane area fires. Two of the teams are based in California. That's Team 4 and 7. The LA County Fire Department telling NBC4 today they also have crews on standby right now. And here is more from them and on the expertise firefighters here in California bring to help other states battle wildfires.
They train year-round for this. They're familiar with steep terrains, weather conditions, whatever comes their way. We're trained for any given situation. So there, we have our USA2 team who just came back from Venezuela. So we have, our team is so equipped with going through various situations to ensure that they help assist by suppressing those fires wherever they are called to go.
And Jonathan, Kathy, as I mentioned earlier, I spoke with the Deputy Chief Tom Clemmo over the phone here with the Santa Monica Fire Department. I will have more of our conversation coming up at 11 p.m. tonight. We're live in Santa Monica. Camilla Rambaldi, NBC4 News.
Camilla, thank you. Also ahead at 11, the federal resources being deployed to Washington State. Plus, meteorologist Stephanie Olmo will be back and take a look at the weather conditions fueling those fires.
Now to the latest of the efforts to clean up after the Lineage warehouse fire in Boyle Heights. Mayor Karen Bass is set to meet with small business owners tomorrow to address their concerns about all that burned, rotting food that has been left behind. 88 million pounds of rotting food left a foul stench along with a fly infestation in that neighborhood. And as of Friday, Lineage said 66% of the food has now been removed. That's about 59 million pounds. As the company will have 11 more days to complete the cleanup before the mayor's 45-day deadline. Meeting tomorrow between Mayor Bass and business owners expected to happen at 3:30 p.m. at the Inclusive Action for the City Initiative building on Cesar Chavez Avenue. New tonight, a man was detained for trespassing at a home in the Hollywood Hills that appears to be connected to actress Nia Long. The call initially came in as a possible break-in, but when officers got to the scene there, they found no evidence of a burglary or even an attempted burglary. However, they say they did find a man who they believe struggles with a mental health disorder. He was detained.
You're not going to get away with this.
But he might.
I didn't know you could get that big.
Spider-Man Brand New Day swung to the top of the box office with a $355 million debut. The movie, along with The Odyssey, helped fuel what is now the biggest box office weekend ever. So is this a sign of a brand new day in Hollywood? NBC4's Keenan Willard has more on this good news for Hollywood.
I mean, the numbers are stunning.
I think so much is back, and I'm really excited about that.
How could you not be? Today, the hottest thing in Hollywood isn't the stars baking in the sun on the Walk of Fame. It's a ticket to see two record-breaking blockbusters.
Why are you coming to the movies when it's 90-plus degrees out?
Because it's Christopher Nolan, The Odyssey, and 70mm.
This is officially the biggest weekend in box office history, as The Odyssey and Spider-Man Brand New Day have combined for over $400 million in ticket sales. The two films smashing the previous record of $357 million set by Avengers Endgame's opening in 2019.
It's a sign that really the business has come back. And, it was only a couple of years ago that theater owners were saying, I don't know if we can stay in business, we're not getting enough big crowds.
Entertainment experts say the hype for The Odyssey was expected, with some fans ordering their tickets more than a year in advance to see director Christopher Nolan's latest epic. For Spider-Man, after several years of smaller crowds for Marvel movies, some in the industry thought audiences might be feeling a sense of superhero fatigue.
If you give them the right movie with the right marketing and the right characters, clearly there is no fatigue.
You can feel the buzz on Hollywood Boulevard, as the heart of the entertainment world is also home to one of just 25 theaters in the country showing The Odyssey on 70mm IMAX film.
I'm a huge Christopher Nolan fan, so had to see it in 70mm. And there's just something about sitting in those recliner seats or those red velvet that just make it feel like no other. Yeah, this is my first time seeing the movie right now, so I'm really excited. I'm ready to see it in this theater. First time here.
In Tinseltown, audiences sending a message with their money. Going to the movies is back.
They're in Los Angeles and hot weather across the United States. It's just as hot for the movie theaters indoors as it is outdoors.
Guys, I like to think we did a bit of our part here with our Odyssey billboard here in Universal City, showing off our pride because, of course, NBC Universal, parent company of NBC4. So aside from that, though, there was just so much enthusiasm in Hollywood despite the heat out here. And because of that enthusiasm and demand specifically for The Odyssey,
Showings of The Odyssey in IMAX 70mm have now been extended into mid-September because there's just so much demand for those tickets. So even more people are going to be able to see it in all of its glory. For the moment, from Universal City, Keenan Willard, NBC4 News.
That is the best news ever. I am going again. Keenan, thank you so much. Again, Spider-Man Brand New Day took the top spot with $355 million. The Odyssey coming in second with $51 million. Toy Story 5 in third with $6.3 million.
Coming up next, the perfect conditions for